I'm Teri. I'm here to guide you through an upper body mobility flow. We will pretty much be on the ground the entire time. I'm not here to diagnose your problems. I'm just here to address some very common tight issues that happen through the traps and behind the scapulas and through the mid bodies and the chest and all of that stuff, from manual labor, from working a desk job, from daily life, from carrying your bags funny every day. So before we get started, a few things you should have on hand just in case. Most importantly would be a strap of sorts. So if you don't have an actual yoga strap, that's fine. Get yourself a belt or a piece of rope or a hand towel, anything you can grab to help close your gaps. Next would be a rolled up blanket or a soft pillow. And if you have a bolster, go ahead and get it. Otherwise, again, maybe you want a few pillows or a couch cushion or something. And that's only if you feel like you might need a little extra cushioning. Not necessary, but I'll tell you when you might need them. So go ahead and pause if you need. Go round up your stuff and come back. All right, so first we're going to start on our backs. So start with your feet hips width apart, parallel, so all 10 toes are facing the front. Maybe pull the flesh out from underneath your bum and slowly roll down onto the earth. You can allow the feet to land wherever it feels comfortable. And begin to tuck the pelvis under ever so slightly so you can feel the lower back begin to melt down towards the earth. Now press your elbows into the mat so you can lift your chest up a little bit and walk your shoulder blades in towards the spine. Now reaching your fingers up to the sky, palms facing one another, imagine you have puppet strings attached to all 10 of your fingers. As we inhale, the right fingers are going to pull up to the sky and you feel the right shoulder blade begin to peel off of the ground. As you exhale, drop it back down. Now we'll rotate sides. Inhale, lifting through the left fingers, reaching up, lifting the left shoulder blade off the ground, and exhale, drop it back down. Do it a few more times each side, following your breath. And we're just doing this to increase our circulation in an area that otherwise doesn't really get it. All right, now bring your knees up into your chest. Your right hand meets the right knee, your left hand meets the left knee. Just draw some circles on the ceiling. You can make them big or small. I like to go big here and really massage out my low and my mid back because it is all connected. And start to rock back to front. Give yourself a few sways before you come up to your seat. And maybe your hips are a little tight and sitting like this isn't the most comfortable thing in the world for you. That's fine. You can either get your block or whatever you're using as your block and sit on it, or your bolster or your blanket. I'm opting for blanket just to get my hips a little bit higher than my knees right now. So settle in. As you're sitting here, feel your spine lengthen from the low belly and the low back all the way up. Your chest starts to brighten, and it's like there's a string attached to the top of your head and it's pulling to the sky. Maybe you want to close your eyes and just feel anything. Feel what's going on in your body right now. Take a nice cleansing breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Notice when you take those big inhales, if your diaphragm just under the rib cage is fully able to expand, or if you notice any tension just on your inhales. We've got work to do if you feel tension on your inhales. But fear not, we will get you there. So while you're in your seat here, take your hands behind your lower back and interlace them. If interlacing your hands back here isn't in your cards for today, whatever it is, grab your strap and you can hold on to it like this. Now take the fist, nestle it up into the right hip so it's sitting right on top of that crest. You can feel the bone there. Let it hang out there. Now taking your left shoulder, rolling it up, down, and back. Start to pull the left shoulder blade in towards your spine. Now the right shoulder rolls down and in. Feel that opening through the chest. As you inhale, find a little space. Exhale, drop your right ear down towards the right shoulder. Hang out here for a few full rounds of breath. And notice if you are hanging on to any unwanted tension anywhere in your body. Think about sending your breath into the left side of your neck. Slowly inhale, coming back to center. Release the hands to the back, keep them clasped, and swing them over to the left hip. Nestle it up there nice and good. Now same deal with the shoulders. We're rolling the right shoulder down and in, and the left shoulder coming in. So still those blades are hugging in towards the spine. Inhale, grow a little bit taller. Exhale, drop the left ear down. Notice any differences from side to side, with no judgment, just acknowledging. Few more deep breaths, sending your focus into the right side. And slowly come back to center. Release the clasp of your hands, wiggle the fingers, bring some circles into the wrists, and relax the palms on your knees. Now this may seem counterintuitive, but I promise this works wonders for me. We're gonna do some shoulder shrugs. Inhale, pull the shoulders all the way up to your ears. Start to crunch the back of your neck ever so slightly towards the back. Now we're not holding our breath here, but we're holding the tension. Keep squeezing and release. Again, inhale, shrug the shoulders up. Start to pull the neck back a little bit. Stay in tune with your breath. And exhale, release. 2 more like that. Inhale. Make your neck disappear. Exhale. Last one. Exhale. Now we're going to move a little faster. If you have any problems with body temperature regulation or you overheat very easily, don't breathe in through your nose here. But if you're fine with body temperature, follow along with me. We're going to inhale and exhale out of our nose. Rapid fire. I want you to think about snapping your belly back to your spine with every exhale we take. So it'll look like this. Breath of fire. Okay, cool. So as we do this, we're gonna shrug up on the inhale and drop on the exhale. So it'll look something like this. All right, let's do it for about 30 seconds. Ready, inhale, exhale, and go. Maybe take a few circles of the shoulders, front and back, whatever feels good for you. Now I encourage you to try to switch the direction of your crisscross legs if that feels comfortable. For me, this is totally uncomfortable, but that means I know I have to sit here a little longer to balance my body out. So that's what we're gonna do. Now, the real fun stuff begins. Take your arms out nice and wide. Keep sitting up tall. Bring the right arm underneath the left. Wind the forearms around one another, trying to get the palms to touch. If the palms don't touch, don't get mad at yourself for it. Maybe the backs of your hands touch. If that still feels super tight, give yourself a big bear hug, trying to stack your elbows one on top of the other. Cool? Doesn't matter which option you're taking right now. I'm opting for what we call eagle arms. As we inhale, let's try to lift the fingers up a little bit further, pulling the elbows up. If you're in eagle arms, pull the fingers a little further away from your face. Inhale, lift up, maybe lifting your gaze. Exhale, draw the elbows down towards your belly button. Same thing if you're in the bear hug. Inhale, lift the elbows up. Exhale, draw them down. Feel that protraction happening in the shoulders. They're peeling away from the spine now. One more, inhale. Exhale, draw it down. Come on, back up. Take an inhale, reach the arms out wide. And exhale, other side. Left arm comes underneath the right. And maybe you figure out that one shoulder is lopsided. That's fine. Adapt to the postures. Rather, we adapt the postures to our bodies. We don't need to fit into a mold. So maybe the palms touch, maybe it's back to the hands, maybe it's a bear hug, wherever you're at. Inhale, lift. We lift, lift, lift. Fingers away from the face. Exhale, elbows down towards the belly button. Inhale. Exhale, lower. Last one. Exhale. Come back up. Inhale, unwind, open the arms out, and release back down. Maybe take a deep breath. Again, if you want to wiggle your shoulders, if you need to reconfigure your seat. I know we're here for a little bit. A few more things while we're here. Grab your strap, because you might need it if you're here if you have tight shoulders. We're doing what we call cow face arms. Start by taking your right arm out wide to the side, internally rotating. So maybe you take your left hand to the right shoulder, spin the right thumb down to the ground. We just want to make sure that we're not caving forward, that the shoulder is just rotating in its socket. Then we take the right thumb, draw it back and up between the shoulder blades. Okay, just just notice where your hand lands there. Bring it back down. We're just doing this as a gauge. Same thing on the other side. Left arm comes out to the side. Internal rotate, draw the thumb down to the ground. Sweep it back and up, reaching between the shoulder blades. You should notice a difference based on whichever dominant hand you have. I'm not going to tell you, I'm gonna let you figure it out because that's what's most important. And bring it back down. Now take your right arm back out to the side. Bring it up and behind, reaching for the shoulder blades once again. And maybe you need to give it an assist here. Same thing on the other side. Left arm comes out, spin the thumb, don't spin the thumb down. Reach it up and back between the shoulder blades. Maybe grab the left elbow. Now we put them together. So I would like you to take the right arm out, bring it between the shoulder blades, left arm, internal rotation, comes up and back. Maybe your fingers touch here, maybe they don't. See, on this side I'm able to get my fingers to touch, but if I didn't, I'd grab that strap and use it to help close the gap. You can also grab onto your shirt if you want. I'm all twisted up. Now hang out here for 3 full breaths once you get comfortable. If you notice any severe pinching, burning, or genuine pain, get out of this. Otherwise, if you just feel some stiffness, sit with that sensation. Use your breath to get through it. It should hopefully get better. And notice if your head is starting to come forward. We don't want the hand or the top arm to be pushing the head forward. One more inhale and release. See if you notice a difference between your right and left shoulders right now. Just take a little before and after picture. This one's after, this one's before. Now let's do the other side. If you're right-handed like myself, this side is a little less fun. So we take the left arm out, up and in. Right arm internally rotates, comes back and up. Maybe your fingers touch, maybe they don't. Take whatever measure is necessary to close the gap. Find your sweet spot. And by sweet, I mean sort of sticky. And in the anatomy world, sticky spot meaning an area that sort of lacks fluidity. It lacks mobility, but we're here to juice it up. Again, just noticing if you're allowing that left arm to shove your head forward. We want to maintain a long spine. One more big breath. And release. Whew. Do you notice a difference? Now, grab onto the strap. This is something you may be familiar with. Pull it nice and tight, wider than your shoulders. We're going to experiment. Bring it out right in front. And if you're tired of sitting, you can always come up to your knees if you want. I'm fine with sitting right now. Let's lift up overhead. Keep pulling that strap taut and see how far back we can get it. And slowly come back forward. Now, my shoulders are tight right now, so I'm going to widen the grip on my strap and see if I can get a little more rotation. Ah, there it is. Moving with control. Bring it back up overhead. Then maybe once you're warmed up a little bit here, you can start to walk the hands in a little closer on your strap. Yep, there's the progression. I can feel it. Ah, the human body is so cool, you guys. One more full rotation. And bring your strap down once you are finished. Now, we put the real mobility to the test. So just like I had you testing your arm, bringing it back and up and all those internal and external rotations, we're gonna put that all together. So bringing your arms again out wide, you're going to internally rotate the right arm and bring it back as the left arm comes up. And then you rotate side to side. Notice if there's a difference in your range of motion from where we first started. Do a few more. And come back down to your seat. Let's take an inhale, reach overhead, and exhale, rock forward. We're coming into our tabletop position, which means we're just on all fours. Fingertips are spread out nice and wide, so we're not dumping our weight into the wrist. Shoulders stack over the wrist, hips stack over the knees. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your gaze, tuck your toes. Start to peel your chest towards the front of the room. And exhale, untuck your toes, rounding through the spine. Press the earth away from you. Feel the shoulders protract. Inhale, drop the belly, tuck your toes. Drive your hands down into the earth. Exhale, untuck the toes, chin to chest. Inhale. Cow pose. Exhale, cat pose. Rainbow the spine. Now we slowly sit the seat back on your heels. We're in a traditional child's pose. You may feel a little bit of traction in the lower back. You may feel a little more opening through the shoulders. Anytime you're in child's pose, if your shoulders are sore, you can bring the elbows out wide, bring the fingertips to touch so you make a diamond shape. That's just a little insider tip. I'm getting sidetracked. Keep your hands out in front of you though. Inhale, pull yourself forward into cow pose. Exhale, rounding through the spine, sit back on your heels. Last round, inhale. You're a big wave, using your breath to move you. Exhale, sit back. And if your heels and your sit bones feel far away, you can take that rolled up blanket and put it on top of your feet. So you've got a little cushion there. Walk your fingers out long in front of you and tent your fingertips. So we're pressing the pads of the fingers down, lifting the palm up off of the ground. So it's like a cage to protect a little cupcake on the earth. Maybe you want to bring your forehead to the ground. Maybe you don't. Keep the elbows suspended. Feel your shoulder girdle expanding. And take 2 more deep breaths here. Feeling the belly expand and oof, words are tough today. The belly expands as you inhale and it contracts as you exhale. And find your way back to your comfortable tabletop. As you inhale, reach your right fingers to the sky. Exhale, thread your needle. Bring the right hand across your chest. Right shoulder meets the ground. Right ear meets the ground. Left fingers walk forward. And think about squeezing your inner thighs together. Maybe you want to keep your left hand reaching out long, or maybe you want to wrap it around your lower back, reaching for the crease of your right thigh. Think about rolling the left shoulder back rather than allowing it to cave down towards the ground. Bring the left hand next to your face, press into it. Inhale, reach the right fingers back up. Exhale, bring it back down. Let's switch sides. Right fingers are still spread out. Inhale, left fingers reach. Exhale, thread your needle. If you're like me, you might get a few cracks up your back. And again, maybe you walk the right fingers forward, or maybe it comes around your lower back. Staying with your breath, squeezing the inner thighs together. One more big inhale. Exhale. Bring the right hand next to your face. Inhale, sweep the left fingers up to the sky. Exhale, coming back to your tabletop. One more range of motion mobility exercise to do. Then we're going to chill for a bit. Taking your right arm out long in front of you. Internal rotation again. We drop the right thumb to the ground. Reach it behind you all the way back. See if you can get the top of your right hand back between the shoulder blades. Then slowly bring it back out in front. Bring it back down. Left side, reach out long. Internal rotation. Sweep it behind you. Reaching back between the blades with control. Out in front and back down. Let's level up one more time if you want to. But we're pretty warmed up for this. Reach out long, internal rotation, reach back, between the shoulder blades, reach out in front of you. Now reach up and behind you between the shoulder blades. Just like we did before, plant it back down. The internal and external rotation. Left arm reaches, internal, sweep it back. Reaching forward, external rotation between the shoulder blades, comes back down. Pressing into the pads of your fingertips nice and wide, step up to a high plank. Maybe give yourself a little wiggle front to back. Inhale, shift your weight forward so you're on your tippy toes. Exhale, lower all the way down to your belly, making your chest and hips touch at the same time. Keeping your hands just beneath the shoulders. For baby cobra, inhale, peel the chest away from the earth. Keep those toes reaching out long. The legs are glued together. Come back down. Inhale for cobra. Lifting the chest a little further, keeping the hips on the ground. Elbows remain bent. Chest is nice and bright. The collarbones are smiling to the front of your mat. Feel the shoulders squeezing into the midline. Exhale, come back down. Now uplifted cobra. We bring the arms out to the sides. Fingertips are tented once again, right in line with the nipple line. Elbows are squared. Again, legs are zipped together. Inhale, peel the chest up off the ground. Find a little more length through the spine. Exhale, come back down. Use your breath. Inhale, peel up, look over the left shoulder. Exhale, back down. Right side, inhale. Exhale. Now, bring your left cheek to the mat. Bring your left arm out wide to the side. Palm down on the ground. Keep your right hand next to your face. Point the right toes up, coming into a scorpion stretch. Lift those right toes up, plant them on the outside of your left sit bone. I can't say the word seat today. Keep saying sit, your seat. And if this feels like it's too much, you can always stack the right leg on top of the left. But when you bring it behind you, it just allows you to get a little bit deeper into the lower back as well as opening through the left shoulder. Nice full breaths. Coming back to center with control. Giving your hips a little shimmy side to side. Now let's switch sides. Bring the right arm out to a T. Bring the left hand next to your face. Your right cheek comes to the mat. Point your left toes. And plant the left foot on the outside of your right seat. Relaxing your neck. With control, bring the left leg back into center. Point both feet up. Bring both hands in next to your chest. And just windshield wipe your feet side to side. Relax the legs out long. Press your way back to tabletop. Drop your hips down one way or the other. Let's switch it up to our seat once again. Paschimottanasana. Keep the legs out long in front of you. Keep the toes flexed back to start. Let's just work on that for a moment. Pull the toes back, spread them out. Feel it. Sometimes it feels so good to just spread your toes out, you know? Now, we're going to do a passive back body stretch. It's not something that you would think I would teach, but I'm gonna. Reach up nice and tall through the fingers. Notice if you're grounded down through your sit bones, and if this feels incredibly uncomfortable, the little blanket is gonna be your buddy. You can prop your hips up. Inhale, reach up high. Exhale, folding forward. We're not grabbing onto anything. Everything is purely relaxed here. I'm resting my arms on my legs and dropping my chin down to my chest. Like really dropping my chin into my chest. Notice if you feel this start to pull either in the cervical spine, the back of the neck, if you feel it in the mid-back, your thoracic spine, or if it goes right to your lower back. None of that's bad. It's just good for you to recognize where your sticky spots are. Stay here for 5 full inhales and exhales. Bring your hands onto your shins and slowly walk them back. Notice if you feel like you can sit up a little bit taller now. I know I can. Now let's make it active. And inhale, reach up high once again. And exhale, forward fold, reaching for something to grab onto this time. So I can reach my feet, but you may be grabbing your shins, your ankles, maybe you grab your toes. Maybe none of that's possible, and that's fine. Again, the strap is your friend. Wrap it around the balls of your feet and hang on tight. Now the goal here is to try to bend the elbows out to the sides. Find a little more length in the entire back body. Getting your chin a little bit closer to your chin to your shins, your heart to your knees. One more inhale. Exhale, slowly rolling up. Taking your legs in, bringing the hands behind you. I like to hang out in a fist here. Walk the feet out as wide as your mat if you're on one. Drop the knees down to the right. With control, bring them through center, drop them over to the left. But one more time. We're doing this just to counteract all the sitting that we just did. And to the left. Come back to center. And thank you for joining me. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or jokes, please let me know. I'll be back with a little more mobility fun for you down the line. I hope this was able to provide you with some relief.